The machine guns have 100-round belts going on. No need for them or the 249s to top off. They're good. Everybody else is going to spend an action to reload. They're just doing a tactical reload where they're dumping the mag, stuffing the mag into a dump pouch or something that you can use later, because you don't want to just lose all those rounds and you end up topping off with another fresh 30-round mag. First things first, Krieg comes on the radio. Of course, the guys that are right with him can hear him. He tells the 249 and the 240 across the way to stay in position and stay alert. Overwatch is what they're doing in game. So they're using Overwatch in case, and I think I'm going to roll and see, does this draw any more attention in a bit. That's a mass of gunfire in the middle of the night. So we are going to have them on Overwatch. Hold your position, cover us. Sanchez has his bad wrist. Sanchez stays in place. He wants Jan staying with this civilian. He didn't want him rabbiting. That would only make things worse. But he grabs the Marauder and Pacheco and says, we got to go down. They can see where this truck, it's only gone those 2 hexes and crashed against the wall. Again, they have night vision. I'm not sure they would know it's ejected the passenger out, that rear passenger. But they're going to go down. Those 3, Krieg, Pacheco, and Marauder, miscellaneous Marauder, are going to go down to check this vehicle. Now, Pacheco and Krieg are silenced, but you've got the Marauder with his M16A1 just set, ready to go. It goes on. Now, we know what they're going to find. They're going to find the passed out driver, which they haven't seen him, but, he wrecks. And they're going to find the ejected, well, do they find, that's the question, do they find the ejected rear passenger? We know he's injured, but it was a mid-level injury. I'm thinking, let's roll this position for his injury. It's going to be a broken, I want to know, arm or leg. Ooh, okay, torso. So it's not arm or leg at all. I think he broke some ribs, either when he hits the vehicle or when he gets ejected. Could be collarbone as well. We'll just go with ribs. First thing that came to thought, he's broke some ribs. Ribs are a problem, extremely painful, but he could still function. Yes or no, just a simple yes or no, does he still have his weapon? Again, we've determined red will always be yes. Yes, still has his AK. So it's either near him or he had it on a strap, so he is still a threat with his broken ribs. Now again, it's night. They have their lights on, so there's going to be some ambient light. He's going, if he shoots, he will have a minus action that our guys won't. But we've got to figure, how's this approach going to go? And with his broken ribs, how quickly have they gotten down there? I think he would have a little bit of time to recover as they come down. Let's go with 50-50, chaos factor of 7. Is he recovered enough that he's able to defend himself as these guys approach with the advantage of the night vision? 52, yes. So he will be able to, in a weakened state, defend himself. And he's not able to clear out, but he is kind of, sitting up onto his rear end. He's definitely kind of holding his chest. And we will do a recon roll on whether or not our troops see him before he sees them. So we're going to go with the lowest recon, which I believe is this Marauder. The Marauder has a recon C, intelligence D, but our Marauder, is he going to see them? But I think even Pacheco might spot this guy who has a CA. I want to see as they approach, I want to see which one might see him. So I think everybody's going to get a roll here, not a group roll. They do have their night vision, so they should be able to spot this guy. And I'm going to let each one of them do the roll. But maybe either Marauder or somebody's focused on the vehicle and they don't see this guy that was ejected away from the car. I like that. I think that's exactly how it would be. So let's just do the recon roll. So we've got a D6, D12. So D6, D12. So this will be for Krieg. There's no minuses in play because of the night vision goggles. But okay, we've got a success. So we've got one success. Krieg sees our guy sitting on his butt. He's up and kind of guarding those ribs. So he'll have the option to take a shot. Let's see, this Marauder has the intelligence D, recon C. So we are dealing with the 6 and the 8. See if he sees them. He sees them as well. Apparently you can't miss this guy. Maybe he's moaning, making some noise. We got a 5-7. And we'll go to Pacheco finally with an AC. So it's going to be that 8-sided die and that 12-sided die. We'll see if Pacheco's paying attention. And he's got a 6-4. Everybody has seen this Marauder night vision goggles as they come out of their building, wherever their entrance was. They see him seated, and they will get the first opportunity to shoot, and he will fire back at the sounds or whatever he sees with his AK if he survives this. So he's got his broken ribs. So we're just going to work through these progressions with no bonuses on them. So ranged combat, we'll start with Krieg again. He's simply got the D8 and a suppressed firearm. So we're doing his M3 grease gun. We'll hold one out. That will get a +1 on. We'll see he sees this guy seated, holding his ribs, and he's got suppressive fire, so we got a 4 for the hit die, not a hit. But he's got a 6 on his ammo die, which means he can suppress this guy. It's not a hit, just to suppress. We do have a single 1, so we could push it. I think I will push it, and that was a 4. Doesn't matter, wasn't a hit. I'm going to push it. We'll see if Krieg can jam his gun as well. We're pushing. If we get another 1, we're going to have a jam. No 1, but he does pull a 7 on a hit, 2 and a 3. So we do have a hit, a single hit. He does have the ammo die as well to give him the extra hit, and that makes it critical. This will, we're going to see what the other guys shoot, but this will take out this guy. So let's go to, it is silenced. So we've got to find Krieg here on the ammo. Goes through almost half a mag. That sounds about right. But we've got the passenger is now down and out. So, we still got to figure everybody else out. I want to know what Pacheco's doing with his handgun. So B and A with 2. I'll just use these 2. All right, B and A. So it means 12 and a 10-sided die, silenced, and oh yeah, 7, 6, 1, 3. That again is 2 hits. Same deal, just and actually 4 rounds. So we will track that. And I'm curious, does the Marauder who sees these operators popping off their rounds, is he going to join in with his M16? With our chaos factor at 7, I think it is actually somewhat likely, although probably not pleasing to Krieg, which means an 85 or lower, and he is going to join in on the gunfire. Not needed, but he doesn't know that at this point. 49. So yes, the Marauder is going to fire as well. Not a silenced weapon, so it's M16A1, which is 6. So 2d10s with these 6. We'll see how much he fires. Oh, he gets a hit as well. He wouldn't want to push because he had 2 1s, but he has another 6. That would have given him a critical as well. So this guy is put down very quickly, but he does spend 10, 15, 16, 17 rounds. Wow. Thank goodness for these sheets because I'm tracking all these guys. All right, again, handled. There's got to be further inspection of the scene. The one threat is down and out, but again, we got a noisemaker. I picture the engine is still running with this truck. Pacheco doesn't need much direction. He's an operator. He pulls that door open. He's got a suppressed handgun and kind of sees the driver is in there. You can see the leader is Swiss cheese. The gunner, clearly not a threat, but he just comes in and puts 2 more into this driver and then pulls him out of the vehicle. And we have to figure what do they do here is, well, number one, because the vehicle could be their mode of getting out of there. Are they ready to just say, this is a bust? This is a bust. So first I want to know, is the vehicle drivable? We're at a Chaos 7. Wait, hold on. Before we do this, Chaos 7, is the vehicle drivable? You know what? There's a lot of gunfire and it's wrecked. I think it's probably unlikely. Unlikely is a 55. 43. So the vehicle is, I don't know how drivable. Well, it's drivable. We know the vehicle is drivable. The technical can get us out of there. Interesting. Well, we can use it. All right, Krieg's not stupid, highly intelligent. He comes on the radio and tells the 249 crew and the 2440B to stay on overwatch in that cement building on the other side. He says, we're going to get, first of all, we're getting all these bodies out of here. So he leaves the 249 and the 240 on overwatch. Everybody else, so Jan, the Marauder with him, Pacheco with him, Sanchez has his hurt wrist. He's coming down as well, along with the informant. He wants them all down there, and he says, we're off. We're off for tonight. We're getting ourselves out of here now in this vehicle. But before we go, I want all these bodies out of here. We're not, we're going to clean the scene a little bit. Clean the scene. And he tells Pacheco to drive him about, whatever, 5-10 minutes away to a dump site. So we're going to have 2 things going on here. One, we're going to load these folks up, and I'm going to do a random event. It's going to happen. We've created a lot of fire. Does it bring anything else there? I guess we'll roll for it first, and if it does, we'll go to the random event chart. That's number 1. So we're going to check a random event just to keep me honest here. Then the party's going to be separated. We're going to have P moving, Pacheco moving, and dumping. And he will be with like a sub-team that he's going to have to see how does that go, and is there any problems with that. Meanwhile, whoever doesn't go on that is going to be maintaining their position in, again, like an Overwatch cover situation. Assuming that dump is successful, they will come back and use that vehicle to pick up, or they have the option, they can always call the Humvees to come do an exfil to get them out. Coordination could be a problem, though. They're going to come to the exact spot, so you don't want to move off your spot and try to coordinate a pickup later on. So exfil one way or the other. So we got three things that we're going to establish now at this point in time. The first is we've got all but the two in Overwatch, including, and we're going to have Sanchez in kind of a suppressed pistol Overwatch because of his injured right wrist. It's painful to him. He could probably work through it, but it's severely injured. So first, they're loading, that is 4 bodies that were in the technical, plus the 2 taggers. They're going to put them all in the bed of this truck. They've got to get them out. You got the truck's a mess. They're going to just load them in. That is going to take some time. So this is where I want to see, one, has this gunfire drawn yet another vehicle? Obviously, this is the response vehicle for this general area. Would they have 2 in that area? I doubt it. So I'm going to say it's unlikely, with a chaos factor of 7, which is still at 55, that that a random event is going to happen. But let's just see. I'm being too specific that another vehicle would come. Unlikely. Let's see. 43. No, something happens. Okay. So something is going to happen. We're going to do an action and a subject at this point in time. I don't know what this thing is. It could be another vehicle showing up. We'll have to see what happens here. We have 2. That's interesting. Starting. So starting. No idea. Let's see what the subject will be. Wow, 7. We're in some very low numbers. Starting allies. Okay, well, the random event is starting allies. Well, this has got to be the guys from the base. So, starting allies. Well, the first thing that comes to mind as starting allies would be that the reaction force has heard all this gunfire, and they're coming back out, even though they weren't requested. Anytime you have a joint operation, so the major has his own troops are in this action. So the military major, this is good. The plan was, don't come out with your Humvees to pick us up unless the call is placed. But Krieg isn't, although he's got control of these 4 gunners on this op, they're not his men. And the major decides, send the Humvees. That's too much gunfire. Something went wrong. Send them. So the vehicles are en route. This could be good or this could be bad. Humvees are inbound to the ambush site. I think we had established it's about a 10-minute movement to get out there roughly. So it's not like they're arriving on scene immediately. But that's our random event. The bodies are loaded. Pacheco is going to he's got to unload these folks and probably bring this vehicle back. The idea that you would dump the vehicle when it's functional because it could be your ticket to get out of there. So I think the plan is not to just dump the vehicle, it's just dump the bodies, which means he needs some assistance. Pacheco, Marauder, who else is he going to take with him? I think he'll take an M249 with him. So let's figure out who that is. Let's see, who's the strongest? There we go. Clifton is a B. So Clifton, Pacheco, and the Marauder all the bodies are in the truck, and those three with their associated weapons are now leaving this ambush site to go find a place where they can dump the bodies. Anytime you separate, you have potential problems going on because, where is he going to go? This is in the middle of the night. They do have their night vision goggles. But what's a sufficient place to even, do the dump? It doesn't matter if they're found. So I guess it's not a major problem, but you don't want to roll yourself into an ambush the way they're set up. I'm even going to put that the 249 operator, who's got heavy weapon skill, does he know how to work this heavy machine gun? Probably not. It's in the middle of the night. He's not going to mess with it. He's going to stick with his 249. Why mess around with something? It's there if all hell breaks loose. And I forgot we had a jam before. I can't remember if it was Clifton or not. Clear. Jams aren't going to take too long. I should do one thing just to see if it's broken, I guess. So let me do that. Let me see if we've got a break on that 249. I think it was Clifton that had the problem. We're at a chaos factor of 7. I'm going to say it's almost impossible that it's broken, but that still means a 15 or lower, it's broken. So I don't want to, okay, 63. So it's not broken. He was able to clear it, feed tray, whatever, something simple. And his gun's working. He's in the back. That's a messy spot to be in, but he's in the back. He's got some cover. Marauder, front seat, Pacheco's driving. They go off to find their dump site. And I want to know, I'm going to go 50-50, chaos 7. Do they run into a problem? Is there some type of problem while they're out there? And it's 64, so that is, yes, 75 and down. So they're going to have a problem. Okay, what is this problem that they're going to have? And I'm going to go to the event, meaning, action, and subject again. 41, so this is Pacheco. This is phase 1 of the dump. So let's keep track here. There's only 3 of them. We have 41, which is expose. Okay, it sounds perfect. So expose, what is happening here? 53, expose home. Huh, expose home. All right, well, exposing the home has got to be something that somehow is signaling the base is responsible for this body drop. So what I'm going to list it as is Pacheco finds an area. The Marauder, Pacheco, and the 249 guy are holding cover, but a citizen, some citizen of Niesno, sees the tossing of the bodies to wherever they're being taken to. But what's clearly heard is English being spoken, which immediately exposes the home base, because the citizen who just happens to be, in the wrong place at the right time, I guess, they're not seen, but they can hear this, and they don't expose themselves. They're not troops. There's no danger here. Well, I guess let's roll. Let's not go too far down that line. I think it's I think it's very unlikely, which is still 50%, that they're seen. Let's go with no way. Yes, I'm weighting it, but I believe the citizens here. I don't think they're going to be running into troops all the time, but maybe they get shot at. There's no way that this person is violent. 28. No way on a chaos is 35. So there is some violence, okay? I think we're going to go back to the kind of an AK out the window and fired. This isn't a trained person. This is a citizen who's armed. They hear the English and they fire at the vehicle. The dump is going on, but we do have the 249 guy staying with the vehicle in an overwatch position. So two things. The first thing is gunfire. Gunfire from an AK. We're just going to do, it's a spray and pray on a 6 out of a window. Not really even aimed, but you know, it's like it's over there. So it's not that it's not aimed, it's just directed at the sound of the talking and probably the vehicle as it showed up. If there's a 6, we're going to roll and see which one of our guys is hit. It's a 1. So gunfire, a whole mag gets ripped off out of some window. None of our folks are hit, but again, the English has been spoken. The implication is definitely that it's the U.S. folks that are clearly from the hospital. So we have what will probably be, again, more anger at the base hospital. So they roll out of there. They've just kind of pitched, used the vehicle, and get back to the site. They didn't go far, but I want to know, because the Humvees were started, did they run into a problem? There's activity building now. And would the Humvees back en route, self-deployed, would they have run into a problem? I think at this point, it's just gunfire in the city. I think it's very unlikely, but we're on a chaos of 7, which still means it's 50%. 27. It's not a definitely, but they've run into a problem. Whew, we're getting into a wildness here. So, what did they run into? So what is the Humvees problem en route? In other words, are they even going to be able to get to these guys? It depends on what's going on here. We'll get some clarity. 42 is going to be haggle. That doesn't sound like that will be much of a problem. Haggle, 42 again. Wow, that's interesting. A plot. A plot. So argue, oh, okay. The majors come on and basically said, I'm sending the Humvees. Krieg's annoyed by this. He's the king of knees now, not the major. And he said, don't, and he says, don't send them. And he says they're on their way. So it's not that they run into something. It's that we also have some conflict between the military segment, who has 100 U.S. troops, and Krieg, who's a sociopathic narcissist killer. So what we're going to do is I will set up I have it somewhere. I don't see it off the top of my head. Oh, here we go. As far as a thread, I'm going to list animosity between the major and Krieg. And we're going to have to resolve that one way or the other. So out of this was haggle a plot. And I could see that happening. Humvees are inbound. The And I think the truck, ooh, I could see them coming back at about the same time. Well, let's find out, because that could be a friendly fire situation. With both of these things in operation, which might be why Krieg didn't even want to call for an exfil until Pacheco's back. Could we have a friendly fire situation? I think Krieg would even say we've got friendlies and a technical. Secure radio, not a lot of people have these. I think he would put that info out. Still unbelievably problematic, because now you can't just light up every technical that you see if you're the Humvee column. They could be friendlies. Is it... I think it's still unlikely that they would run into each other or see each other, but that's a 55. Let's see. Okay, 93. Oh, interesting. It's actually an extreme no. So 92 would have taken us. So they're not going to cross paths. It's not happening. And what that tells me is that probably one of the others is going to get there first. And I think it'd be more problematic if the Humvees got there first. But let's find out who got there first. 50-50. Do the Humvees get there first? 50-50. 64. No. So, interesting. Before the Humvees show up, here comes Pacheco back. Technicals rolling up on scene. He does not have a radio. Would they have given him one? Yeah, maybe they would have. So, you had the two elements there. One's an Overwatch. Would he have given him one? Of course, there's one back at the base, the Overwatch, Krieg. I think he would have. And that would probably be we'll just go with, that's why the extreme yes is out there. Pacheco's like, hey, I'm going to, don't worry, I'm inbound, as long as it's not going to be a problem. We're not going to have a friendly fire situation. Don't worry about it. I'll be back in no time, although we did take some fire at the dump site. Got it. Resolved. Pacheco comes back. And so we've got 10 people. We could pile all of them into the technical. But boy, would that be a right target. And you've got a mess in that vehicle. They're not going to do that. So they know they've got the Humvees inbound. They alert them, hey, we've got our technicals on scene. It's ours. Don't fire on it. But anything else mobile, problem. Pacheco says, I'm going to stay. I'm going to keep this. Let's keep this vehicle. We can get it out of here. And at least it'll cause concern. Maybe the whole op was just to jack with these nationalists and steal a vehicle. Sure. Okay. He keeps it. He keeps his Marauder and his 249 guy. They're situated off to the side. In comes the Humvees. The link up is, that part's fine. As they exfil, do we run into a problem? So now they're all headed back. I think the link up's fine. We have the problem with the major and him doing his own thing. But do we have a problem on the way back out? I think it's 50-50. I don't know. But a chaos of 7 means 75% chance we do it. 8. 8. That's an extreme yes. Something not good at all is going to happen. To me, that's only one thing. As they're exfilling, another technical arrives. Now, that's probably not good for the technical, because the Humvees, again, their gunners are operating with night vision goggles. I want to know how far away from the drop site versus or our ambush site to home base. This is key, because really for preserving that future ambush site, assuming it's a path that somehow puts Bartek in danger as he drives by, I want to know, does it happen close to that or close to home base? I'm going to do cards on a graduating scale. 2 would be, it's literally like, within a block of where their ambush site is, whereas an ace is within a block of home base. So, and anything in between. 9. So it's actually slightly, it's about middle of the road, but slightly closer to home base. This is good because it actually preserves this future ambush site if they decide, or even if it's possible, to use that site again. I don't know why Bartek would always be coming by the same area, but maybe it's near his base. We'll have to work that out in the future. So the technical's rolling around with its lights on. No night vision goggles, but that would make it very easy for the gunners to spot. But it could be where a side road catches it. So let's just see. I want to know, I think it's actually likely that because of the night vision goggles, the Humvee convoy would spot the lighted up vehicle first. I think it's likely that they would see them and not be surprised, but who knows? Chaos factor 7, we needed 90 or less. 35, the Humvees spot the vehicle first, and meaning that they get a chance to open up on them with heavy caliber weapons without going through, well, all right, in a firefight like this, it's not going to be every single gun that's usually able to get a target on. And everybody's got zones of fire control. So I want to know, give me a clock rotation. I need a 12-sided die. I want to know they've spotted this vehicle, but in what direction is this vehicle coming from? 9. So we've got, obviously as we're coming around, we got 9 o'clock is coming directly off to the side. So that's interesting. So 6 would be, some guy on the rear and it's chasing after us. 7, 8, 9 is it's literally off to our side. We've got a 50 cal gunner covering his side of the street. Night vision goggles, easy to spot this truck with its headlights on, traveling towards their location. Now, the interesting thing is, coming at that angle, they're going to have their lights as well. So, although the first shots will go to the single 50, again, the way the convoy would work, I don't think every single vehicle is going to be able to gun this up. We're going to say it's just one US 50 gunner. And figuring out the 50 cal is right here. Rate of fire is 4, so let me get 4 dice. If it gets a hit, it does 4, and a critical is 4, so a single hit's going to be devastating. And reliability is 5. I'm not really worried about that. This will be like a single thing, but if they don't destroy them, they're going to have a problem. Now, it is in a pintle, so it's a mount, makes it very stable, easy to shoot from, and the rules in here actually say that if it's in a mount, you would be using the agility score, not the strength, because it's just how well can you put rounds on target. So I'm going to give this 50 cal guy a 12, and we are still dealing with night, but the vehicle's got I don't think it'd be 2 12s. Let's go with a 12 and a 10. So we've got these rolls. This is his chance. He's got a vehicle inbound with lights on, threat indicators up. He's clear to fire on anything coming his way. Ooh, we got a 10. The other one's not a hit. And then we just got 1 1 5.2. So not a push. A push would jam this 50, but he doesn't need to anyway because we've got 2 hits. The single hit is a critical. We got the 2 hits on the vehicle with the 50. He's just boom, 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 just loading up this technical. I picture, I mean, it's coming at them, so the engine's taking the hit, the lights on it are exploding, and the driver's compartment and these 50 rounds are going right through. This is a pickup truck. This is not an armored vehicle. It just lights it up. The vehicle veers off, strikes a building, and just wrecks out. No rounds are fired back. This vehicle is handled. Now, could someone survive from that? You bet. Matter of fact, let's just find out. I think it's very likely that someone would survive that and even report, hey, you know, that American Humvee column moving around lit us up. I don't think everybody's surviving this, but someone in that. Let's see. Ooh, 88. It was actually close. Under this, you needed a 95. So someone made it. Still angry at that base is just fostered even more so, because this dropping of this vehicle is going to be attributed to this base, to Krieg and his American ilk. The nationalistic problem is going to be more fuel to the fire. Victory on that, and the troops roll into the base. The technical comes in, so we've got another technical in with a heavy MG on it, gored up, mind you, but still. And why not? Why wouldn't we take a vehicle? Who knows? Maybe it comes in handy later. I don't know. We will list the technical being there. Again, not that that's a big issue, but why leave it to your enemy to have the vehicle? And when we begin the next episode, I'm going to do our points here in a second. We will resolve the issue between the U.S. Army Major and Krieg. He did not like that he self-deployed that Humvee team to come back and pick him up. It could have caused problems, but it's not even that. It's that it's clear Krieg's in charge, not the Major. Do what Krieg says, or find yourself in serious trouble. It's an ego thing. So we'll resolve that part of the scene. We're done with this one. We're going to give, yes, we've got more combat towards the goal. Yes, although it's a busted ambush. Got it. All right. Participate. Yes, there's one. Follow moral code despite risk. Sure. Risk for dream. Not really. Travel at least 1 hex. Yes, there's 3. Overcome danger. 4. Risk life for buddy. No. So we're at 4, and we will also add some more XP. This is all for Krieg. There will be some other skills which he's still trying to maximize his persuasion and his command. And if he's got enough, maybe we bring in a little more command. That may even help him with the Major. Who knows? Maybe that pumps him up the last part. So thank you again for tuning in. Again, please go give it a thumb. Pop that menu down there. I wish they made it a little easier. Give it a little thumb. It helps the channel a lot. And if you're enjoying this as much as I am, do me a favor and subscribe. So it helps me out a lot. All right. Thank you guys. See ya. Bye.